there. I'm Nadira Jamal, hostess of the Belly Dance Geek Clubhouse, and welcome to this special interview series with my fellow instructors at the 2014 Las Vegas Belly Dance Intensive. The intensive will be held September 4th through 7th at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. And to learn more about the LVBDI or to register, you can visit bellydanceintensive.com. This is a special interview because I'm filming it on location at Spot Coffee in Buffalo, New York, where I'm meeting up with my guest Maia Alexandra, who will be teaching Belly Dance 101. Maia Alexandra is an award-winning dancer and general enthusiast of the arts of belly dance. She blends old-school American cabaret feel with a fresh new perspective and theatricality. Maia bridges the gap of time with a sense of humor and savvy moves. You can check her out at maiaalexandra.com, spelled MaiaAlexandra.com. Thanks for joining me, Maia.
And thank you.
So tell us about the workshop that you'll be teaching at the intensive.
I'll be teaching Belly Dance 101, which is going to be taking the very raw beginner, someone who's never danced before, perhaps a step in their life, and teaching them basically how to belly dance. It'll be very, very fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. So why did you decide to teach that at the intensive?
Well, the intensive is particularly fabulous because it has multiple tracks you can take, from very raw beginner to most advanced. And one thing that they don't have, or didn't have, I should say, until I came in, was a Belly Dance 101 class. This is it's a class for the people who come with the attendees. Perhaps, the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the kids, the adults who are interested but have never taken a class before.
Excellent. It sounds really nice that the intensive is making that available. I know that when I've gone to technical conferences, having the beginner track available has been a really nice introduction to the topic for some people, but also a nice way for even for the more intermediate folks to kind of shore up their basics. So it sounds like even people who have some experience who maybe might be coming to the conference to get back into the dance after some time off might get a lot of benefit out of that anyway, just as a refresher.
Absolutely. And, everybody can always drill a little bit more, and it's always fun. One thing I learned when I came to Buffalo first was that I wanted to take beginner classes with everybody here because it's wonderful to gain new perspective on how other people are teaching things and how they're breaking it down, and perhaps you can take that back to your classes if you're more advanced.
Absolutely, and it seems, I've done that myself with different teachers when I wanted to get a handle on their style, and it also seems like every time I take a beginner class, I learn a different way of explaining something to my own students or a different way of thinking about, how the dance is put together. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to cover in your workshop, any of the specifics?
I'm definitely going to start with a discussion about posture. I think that's the most important thing and the grounding thing. If one person can take away how to stand properly throughout the day, I think that'll be the most important. I'm also going to cover the fun stuff. There will be some shimmies in there. Everybody loves a good shimmy. And there will be some basics, the things that you recognize when you see a belly dancer on TV, hip drops and some shoulder rolly type things. Easy stuff, but fun stuff.
Excellent. Okay, so for the newbies out there, why should they try belly dance?
Belly dance is an amazing art form because it really is what you want out of it. You can go into it wanting to dance like the girl you saw down the street who was, the dancer in the restaurant, or if you wanted to get a catharsis, you can get that out of it. If you wanted to go into it and you really seek something intellectual, there's lots of research topics and so much still unknown out there to really delve into and get juicy with it. It's very, very fun in that particular format. So I really think, in particular women, but everybody should really try belly dance at least once in their life. It's such a transformative experience, or at least it was for me.
Absolutely. And I know that a lot of dancers get their first exposure in really random ways. A friend of mine who ended up going professional came as moral support for her friend who wanted to try it, and her friend took one lesson and gave it up, and my friend just latched onto it and never gave it up. And so I know that a lot of dancers also will tend to do a lot of one-off events, so things like parties for a bachelorette, will give a lesson rather than a show, or sometimes both, and just to give people a taste of belly dance. So, if folks are interested in setting up their own taste of belly dance workshops, whether it's for parties or public or as an intro feeder for their classes, do you have any tips for how to structure something when you only have a little bit of time with them?
Absolutely. If you only have a little bit of time, pick one key thing. In my case, it's posture. And then don't get too stuck in the details. If somebody's just showing up for a party and they want to learn how to belly dance, they're not going to walk away with a perfect figure 8. Don't drill it into them. Have fun with it. Allow them to make mistakes. I really think it's important to just not get too fussy about it.
If I can add my own tip to that, the other piece is make sure they have fun. You know, you can always get the technique right later, but you have to get them back first.
Absolutely. If they're laughing, you figure you're having a good class.
Absolutely. Now, if you're thinking about, if your end goal is for people to have a really positive taste of belly dance when they come out of it, do you have tips on what kind of content to include or how to structure it?
In general, I would say you definitely keep it simple and keep it to maybe some big basic concepts. Think shimmies. Don't think I'm going to have 12,000 different kinds of shimmies, but just one good shimmy and then maybe a hip drop or two. Just something up top, something down below, something easy, and then string it all together so at the end they feel like they're dancing. They feel like they've walked away with something in their back pocket they haven't had before. They can wear it around like a Girl Scout badge of honor.
Absolutely. And I know that you offer this as a service for parties as part of your performance services. Do you have any tips for marketing those?
In general, I would say word of mouth is a beautiful thing for me here in Buffalo. I've had a lot of students of mine who have recommended me to their friends who are having parties saying, hey, I've got this teacher, you really should have her. And then they hire me to come out and do a very short performance and teach a little sampler class. And that's actually one of my very favorite things to do is walk in to a party where I don't know who's going to be there. The last time I was teaching actually one of these parties, it was for a college professor locally. And he was having a spring fling at his place and decided he wanted to do something different. He had hired me to come out, and he had so many people at his party who wanted to take my class. We actually had to split it into 3 different groups so that they would all fit into the room. And I had, very elderly people who were sitting on the couch and still doing shoulder shimmies, and I had, the young bucks who wanted to show off, and I had the kids who thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was awesome. It was very, very fun.
That, I think, was my favorite thing about it when you get the whole set of generations through, because I think that really comes back to where the dance comes from. You've got people just getting together to have fun and dance at a party, and it's, the glitter and sequins part is really awesome. But when you can get people to have that family experience, I think that's when you're really belly dancing.
Absolutely.
Now, you've already shared some great tips, but can you share one tip specifically from your session that dancers can start using right away?
Absolutely. Again, most important there would be postural. So what I would say when they're coming out of my class, if there's one thing that they come out with, I want them to be able to find their center. Just take a moment, stop, breathe, settle into the floor and look around them, because when you can do that in daily life, it'll just sort of make everything sharper, clearer, more fun, and more interesting.
Excellent. And what are you the most excited about for this year's intensive?
Oh God, there's so many things. I love the fact that I'm teaching. I'm very, very thrilled and frankly very honored. It's an amazing, amazing lineup this year. And I'm looking forward to the festival because that's always so much fun seeing, the whole gamut of people up there on the stage. But most of all, I think I'm looking forward to the pro shows. The pro shows, the caliber is so high, and it's beautiful staging, lovely lights. It's electric. It's Vegas.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Maia.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. If you'd like to learn more from Maia, you can check her out at MaiaAlexandra.com. Again, that's MaiaAlexandra.com. Or better yet, join us at the intensive. You can register for the whole event or just Maia's session at bellydanceintensive.com. And to listen to more interviews with our fabulous instructors, visit bellydancegeek.com/Las Vegas.